All right, greetings everybody.
Hi.
Um,
I see you all come to watch me die.
Thrash, thank you so much. It's 27 months. That's awesome. Let's get some chocobos in the chat. We'll get the clobber chocobo in honor of Saria's death. Um, we are going to do a. I know it's crazy. This is this is so. Gosh, everything has been really a lot longer than it feels like sometimes. You don't think that about knowing Thrash for 2 years.
No, it feels like I just met him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
better kid. Thanks for your energizing taverns. Hey, we're going to be doing some Dragonlance tonight. We are going to be doing the test of high sorcery. That is why we don't have the full crew here today. We're going to be playing a little bit with time to do so, because when we left the party, they have not quite gotten to Kalaman, but we are going to be fast forwarding a little bit into the town, and where we'll we're gonna when next we play, we'll go back in time just a little bit to do more setup for this. But in the meanwhile, we'll jump ahead, and then when we go back in time, and if you die, then that's gonna be super awkward. So you're gonna need to keep Saria alive until we reach this point in the flow of time. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but if you'd like to say hello and introduce yourself in character.
Hello, I am Jen, and today I am going to be playing Saria, who is a level 4 high elf wizard, and she's going to try to get her robes today. Oh, it looks like someone gave me advantage.
That's nice.
That.
That's amazing how that works. All right. So the test of high sorcery is a Dragonlance thing, and it is iconic in the Dragonlance universe. And I got to run one that made up. That was a blast. Um, this one I actually got. We're going to be departing from what we normally go with is the Shadow of the Dragon Queen book. But today we're going to be going to an independent publication that they did on DM's Guild. That is a book for the test of high sorcery, which actually is turned. I'm going to be doing a review of this maybe next week. Depends on how things go tonight, and it was fun. You can actually. It's one of those books you can play solo, and I did, and I died. So yeah. Um,
Makes
the
me feel great.
yeah the so to give everyone a little bit of background before we start, magic is highly regulated on Kren, and these mages of high sorcery kind of keep tabs on everyone and make sure that they stay in line, and they don't like people wandering outside of their control. And so, if you can do so, you can do a little bit of magic. No one really cares. But once you start being able to cast like level 3 spells, they take notice, and they ask everyone to come take the test of high sorcery to gain the robes of either white, red, or black. White for the good wizards, red for the neutral wizards, and black for the evil wizards. And if you do not, then there will be standing orders for any wizard of the Tower of High Sorcery to kill you on sight, because you are a renegade wizard, and they don't like that.
Maybe we should have gone that route. Renegade,
Well, I
Saria the
mean,
renegade wizard.
you can. It's going to be a short stream.
I run away.
All right, and thank you everybody for coming by. We really appreciate you. Um, and so,
No, I don't run away. I will be a good wizard and take the test.
one thing that we should note is that this podcast launched today, and the first episode is Saria taking her practice test, the test of the spire, and you did pass that one. And so this is in that test you were given a scroll, and the scroll was
Yes.
that you were going to present when it was time. Um,
Yes.
and so for everyone, please do check out the podcast. There's actually going to be stuff in the podcast that was not streamed. I just did a solo adventure with Griffith that explains why he showed up at the battle completely unconscious. That will be in the podcast, but it was not on the stream. And so
Very
please
cool.
do check that out. Dragonlance, Thorns of War. And we're going to start you off again. We're fast forwarding just a little bit. But before we fast forward, you are on a boat. You're heading east downriver toward Kalaman. You see the fires of Vogler behind you and the smoke just blackening the sky. Roll a perception.
Okay.
I'm on a boat.
17.
17. To the side of the river, you see three figures, all on horseback. They're wearing the armor of the Knights of Solamnia, but you don't get a good feeling from them. You can't see behind their visors, but their armor is old. It's rusty. It's not something that the proud Knights of Solamnia would wear. And they watch from that distance as you pass. And as you're watching, that scroll, did you put it in your bag or did you lock it away in your dimension?
I probably would have locked it away in the dimension, uh, in my extra dimensional chest.
Okay. You there's a thought that just crosses your mind that you should grab it. And you recognize that this isn't just some sort of, hey, I need to check my stuff. You're realizing as you're coming out of that battle that your powers are growing, and you know that the test is calling you. You know it's time, and that you should have that ready.
I will take it out. These knights that I see, do I think that they are undead?
Um, roll nature.
22.
You think that's a distinct possibility.
Okay.
All right. And I'm sorry. Did you get the thing out?
I got the thing out. Um, I Am I still on the boat with my companions?
You are, yeah, and just as you grab it, you notice that there's a word on it now, printed in flowing script. It says Wyhan,
It
Wyhan,
says WY.
Han, Wyhan.
Is that a word that I've heard before?
Do history, and in the meantime, time. Jeff, thank you so much. 36 months. That's a full 3 years. Holy smokes. Um, we might note
15 in history.
we might note while Jeff is here, um, the Strahd fight in Dyson Dreary, the long-awaited Strahd fight starts tomorrow. I'm assuming. I already turned in my part.
That I will
I was
listen
late. I was
to.
late, but I'm sorry. What was your roll?
15.
15. You've heard of Wyhan. She's a wizard of the Black Robes, and
Okay.
she has a shop in Kalaman.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, how much further do we have on this boat ride?
A good chunk of a day. We're not gonna do all that right now. But if there's something else
Okay.
that you want to do on the boat related to this quest and not everybody else, then we can go ahead and do that.
Um, no, the only thing is I would like to keep an eye on the nights to see if I can still see them throughout the remainder of the trip.
Okay. And you don't. They stay where they are, and eventually the haze from the smoky ruins of Ogler kind of come pass over them, and that's the last you see of them for now.
For now. Okay.
So let's fast forward. Um, we're going to insert in our next episode with everybody here our arrival at Kalaman and what happens there and the first day of everything. But there comes a point where you are you are free, and as you're coming across, going through the towns, you run across a shop. It's an apothecary shop with Wyhand's name on it. Wyhand's Apothecary.
I will pay the shop a visit.
The shop is neatly ordered. It is very very organized. The labels are clearly printed in nice writing. The um, the woman behind the counter is studying old books. She's got short black hair in her even 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 with the black robes, all of her clothing is black. She uh she looks up kind of disinterestedly and says welcome. Is there anything that I can find for you?
Is there anyone else in this shop? Any other patrons?
No.
In that case, I will take the scroll out and just, kind of walk up to the counter and I won't say anything. I will just place it on the counter where she can see it.
She doesn't even break the seal at first. She just kind of smirks. Says so it's that time, is it?
Yes, it is.
Are you ready?
I honestly don't know. I hope so.
Why Why do you think that you're worthy of using magic?
I have been studying magic my whole life.
That didn't answer the question, though, did it? Anyone can study a book. But why you?
I like to think I'm smart and, you know, that I have well, I guess I don't know. I like to think that I can do good things with it.
Hmm. I don't know. You know the test has killed many, right? You're risking your life on an I don't know?
I'm really confident that I'll be able to pass your test.
Oh,
I
now, there
very
we are.
nearly died just days ago, and saved an entire village of people.
Hmm. So is that what you plan to do with your magic then?
Well, I've heard some really disturbing rumors, and I think that unfortunately I may be placed in this situation more than once in the future of having to rescue people.
Well, with all that power, there's plenty of time that we could be rescuing people. There's plenty of time that we could be gathering power to ourselves.
Is that what you did?
Oh, I think the robes speak for themselves. Tell me, if you were to lose your magic, what would you do?
Well, die, likely, as that's the only way that I will lose my magic after today.
Do you serve the magic or does the magic serve you?
I like to think that I'm in control, although I hear what you're saying.
I'm curious. So before, well, assuming that you survive, one of the moons will declare you as her own. Before the
Yes.
test, we are we're able to call upon all the moons. But and this is just me speaking, I have found
Mhm.
that before the test, you already start to feel a connection to one of them. Have you?
I have. I feel a particular connection to Lunatari.
Well, excellent. Anything you would like to do before it's time?
The only thing that I will do is I will go ahead and cast Mage Armor. But once I do that, then I am ready.
All right. She she grins and says, "Well, may Lunatari be with you then." And as she stretches out her hand. The uh, there's like a stirring of wind in the room, and you see uh, starting to appear in glowing runes on the ground that you've been standing in the middle of a teleportation circle. And before you can react, you are gone. You stand as my PDF
We're
is
loading,
it's
loading
not
screen,
loading at
loading screen.
all. This is not going to
we have
work.
a, we have a loading screen, everybody, as I teleport into the next area.
um, roll nature or history, either one.
I will roll history. Ooh, 10.
10. Okay. Before you see a forest, and it is a dark forest. There, the branches here are blackened and they intertwine and they block out the light above you. Um, you can uh, there is no nothing getting through. No light of the moons nor the sun. The only way you can see is through the different magical floating lights that dot the path and float around you. It's like permanent fairy fire in these woods, just kind of these strange arcane lights that are throwing shadows everywhere. Out of the corner of your eye, as you're seeing these purples and greens pass by, you seem to catch the glimpse of red eyes looking at you from the shadows. You turn, and it's gone. There's a thick fog on the ground that just lingers there, and you see it curling around you. This place smells and tastes of death. You know that there are dangers ahead, but you also know the path forward. You can also run and end the session here, and that'd be fine. Everybody would be I've been pumping this up for weeks. Like,
and
no,
I just bait and switch everywhere.
Renegades for me.
So when you say like it's a very clear like pathway through the trees that's like obvious.
It's obvious to you, and you can't really figure out why, except that there's something arcane at work here. Like it's not
Okay.
like a cut path that's mowed, but you know the way.
Okay. I will follow the path,
Okay.
quote unquote path, and but I just want to make sure that I'm kind of I'm trying to stay alert and look around as I'm walking.
Yeah. All right. Roll perception then.
9. We're starting strong.
Yeah.
This is looking great.
Okay. The forest floor is damp, and the path is just covered with the fallen brown leaves that are there. As you look behind you, you see that your way out is gone. The forest is closed in behind you, and there's only forward now. You walk for hours, and the rustling of trees around you keeps you on edge the whole time. As you approach a bend, you hear groans and whispers fill the air, brushing past your face and ears. When you look out for the source of the eerie sounds, your attention is drawn to a ghostly hand that extends from the shadows off the path. The skeletal fingers curl, beckoning you toward it.
It's off my path,
Off the
or do
path.
I have a sense that my path leads to the hand?
No, you can you can go past it and remain on the path.
I'm gonna go past it. I'm gonna keep walking
Okay.
and see. But like as I pass it, I want to like look back and see if it like follows me or if it reacts to me not, go like following it off the path.
As you look back, the hand is gone. The groaning is gone. And all that's left is the breeze and the rustling. Shaking off the chill of the dead, you continue walking down the trail. The trees begin to part, unfurling to reveal a clearing bathed in moonlight. You do note that even though the moons were not full when you left, they are all 3 full today. And you realize that you are in a magical place. A group of small fairies clothed in splashes of glittering dew and bright flowers dance in merriment, feet stomping along the edge of a strange symbol carved into the ground. The fey creatures join their voices in song, a childlike rhythm flowing through the air. 4 hopeful mages enter the wood. 3 got scared by ghosts. 2 enter the foreboding tower. And 1 dies with only vain hopes. The fairies all giggle and cackle. Their heads turn at once and all look at you just suddenly. Here comes one of the hopeful mages, says one of the fairies. How long do you think she'll last? Said another. Poor thing, going to her death and doom, the third chimed in. If she's smart, she'll turn around, the fourth declares. But she could survive. If they eat this, the last one says, and with a wave of her hand, reveal a piece of fluffy white bread, fresh and sweet. They stop dancing. The symbol on the ground flickers with a glowing light. You feel a powerful hum of arcane energy emanating from it. You are in Disney World, yes.
I'm in Disney World. Mm-hmm.
Thrash says, how high is this sorcery?
Pretty
this
high.
Is Thrash's kind of joint.
Pretty high. We are basically in Wonderland. What does Saria know about the Fae?
Roll nature.
22.
22. So yeah, they're not necessarily good nor evil. They're playful. These sorts of fairies, and so you don't get an idea based on their nature whether they're lying to you or not. They could be playing a trick,
Okay.
or they could be giving you a clue. It depends on how the whim strikes them.
Okay. And the symbol on the ground?
Yeah. And you can go inspect either one, and I can tell you more. You don't have to choose one or the other at this point, but did you want to go check out the symbol?
Yeah, I want to go check out the symbol on the ground.
Okay. So kind of ignoring the fairies for just a second, you walk toward the symbol carved in the ground. The sigil is a circle that frames 5 intertwining lines, the intersection marked by ancient ruins. The fairies dance, their footsteps mar and desecrate the carving, and the symbols pulse dark red with each motion. Do Arcana or Religion, either one. And you're looking for a 10.
And I have an 18.
18, okay. You recognize this symbol as a sign of power belonging to Takesis, the Queen of Darkness, goddess of evil dragons and domination. The wild dance of the fairies is not just frivolous whimsy. The dance is fey magic that weakens the unholy power of the symbol, leeching away Takesis' mark on this region of Wayreth Forest. As you're about to step away, you hear a whisper, soft and velvety. Please, adventurer, stop these terrible creatures from destroying me. Wait. I recognize you. You were with that Zaroth guy, weren't you?
I ignore the voice and I walk over to one of the fae that was holding out. You said it was a piece of bread?
Yeah.
I will walk over to that fae and I will say, "What is your name?"
And she goes, oh, come down. We don't have time for this. Eat the bread. You see what power is in this forest. Come. Eat up. The stuffy-headed mages won't let you take our grift into your test. You have to eat it now if you want our help.
Okay. I am gonna trust you. And I'll take it and I'll like kind of sniff it. Does it like smell weird?
It's really it's very sweet. It's got very much It's got very much a honey flavor to it. If this bread were made in Europe, they wouldn't allow it to be advertised as bread. It would have to be a pastry because of the sugar content, and
Got it.
it smells really good.
All right. I will take a bite of it.
Okay. You accept the offering, taking a bite of the bread. It's impossibly light, dissolving onto your tongue immediately before you can even chew or swallow. As it goes down your throat, you feel lighter. A warm, tingling sensation washes through every inch of you. Strength returns to tired limbs, and your eyes see with new clarities. The fairies all cheer. They go, "Yay!" And the one who offered you the bread pats you on the cheek, the twinkle in her eye shifting to an all-knowing gaze. "We'll see you soon," she whispers sweetly, giving you a wink. And in a blink of the eye, the clearing vanishes, along with the fairies and the mysterious symbols. Before you stand the imposing gold and silver gates. The Tower of Wayreth looms over your head. Let me
Okay.
write down.
Um, oh, you're writing things down.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you.
Are
I'll
the
tell you.
gates
Like
open?
the setup of this is really quite clever. Like your experiences early on will pick the path you go on through the
Oh,
tests.
okay.
It's
Okay.
really
So I've
cool.
I've already doomed myself. I see.
And
Um,
you're dead.
and I just immediately die. I just choke on this bread. And are the gates open? Can I walk through the gates?
Yeah, so like the as you step forward, the polished silver and gold arches loom above you. The gates twisted metal twisting in ornate powers that reflect the ethereal moonlight. You see the courtyard of dust and stone through the bars, overgrown weeds creeping through the cracks and crevices. There's no one in sight. You feel like somebody's watching you. Just before you step to the gate, they swing open, allowing you to step into the courtyard beyond. Um, you know that this is your last step before it's too late to turn back.
I am not going to turn back. I am, though, going to ask how long it took me to make it this far.
Oh, um,
Just for mage armor purposes. I
uh,
get 8 hours of mage armor.
it took you about 3 hours.
Okay. No, I will keep going.
Okay. Your footsteps echo through the stone against the stone, leaving imprints in the dust. The feeling of being watched intensifies, and sensation prickling up your back. You turn around quickly. Right before your eyes stands a nervous half-elven woman wringing her hands. Ratty appearance, apprentice robes wrapped over her mousy form. Hello. I'm sorry I startled you. I was just. Her words kind of trip over each other in their quickness, and she's clearly just very, very anxious. I've been waiting here for a while to take my test, and I was starting to think that I was the only one here. I was beginning to doubt if I was even in the right place. But then you showed up, and maybe you too are a mage here to take. And she takes a deep breath, her voice lowering. The test of high sorcery.
Does the test frighten you that much?
And she kind of looks over your robes. She's like, "Oh, of course you're here to take the test. Why would else would you be here?" I, I'm well. I'm Kyrian. It's nice to meet you, but I, yeah, it's like the force was scarier than I thought, and like everybody told me that I might die in the test, and I'm just I'm worried that I'm gonna fail. I or maybe I said the wrong thing to one of the mages, and like I got something um, on my scroll that was bad. I opened the scroll. Did you open your scroll?
I didn't. I
Oh
was
my
told not
gosh.
to open my
Oh.
scroll. I'm a rule follower.
Oh, okay. Well, so like everything I have ever done is written on the scroll, and the last thing is like in bold letters. It says she opened the scroll, and I was like, oh no, I just completely messed up. Sorry, I ramble a lot when I'm nervous. I'm just uncertain about what's in the tower. I get nervous.
Well, they wouldn't let you take the test if they didn't think that you were up for it. I mean, whether you make it out or not is up to you now. You are the one that's in control of whether or not you pass this test.
You
You're
really,
in the same test I am,
you
and I
really
didn't
seem.
look at my scroll.
See.
So,
Oh, see, you clearly know what you're doing. I'm only taking the test because magic is the only thing I'm okay at, and because my parents and grandparents were mages too. Do you understand the pressure of when I got a B minus in my potions class? Why are you so confident?
wow.
Tell me why. I mean, what is it that
Oh,
motivates you?
oh, um, I mean, like I told you, no one is in control of what I do but me. And so I know that I am in control of whether I die or not based on my actions. And I have enough confidence in myself that I wouldn't have agreed to take the test if I didn't think that I was going to make it out. You know, you can still turn back. You can, no one can force you to be somebody that you're not.
She turns around and the gates just like dramatically close. She's like, "Oh,
Well,
I
I have to say I'm surprised that you came this far being this uncertain of your abilities.
well, I know. Like I'm okay. Like I'm I'm pretty decent. Like I think I'm just nervous. I think I don't know.
Well, sometimes nerves can be helpful. You just have to draw on that. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Hmm. So you're I don't I don't see very many elves. I mean, except my dad. But there's like, are you from Sylvanos?
Where did we
Qualanos.
say I was from?
Qualanos. You're Qualinesti.
Okay, then yes. Yes.
Oh,
That is where I grew up.
why did you leave?
It was searching for new experiences.
Hmm. Well, that's neat. Um, the tower, in the middle of this courtyard, the door opens up, and two red-robed wizards come out. Their eyes keen, but they're silent. They're silent as they look at you. And Kyrian says, "I guess we go in now."
Your guess is as good as mine,
I guess, yeah.
but I suppose so.
Um, they just watch you as you enter, and you enter into this hall where there's a lot of would be mages there. They're assembled in in this room. Some of them are sitting in quiet meditation. Other, some are like going through their spell books. Others are chatting and gossiping. There's a human man there who wearing a nice apprentice robe, and looks over at Kyrian and snickers to his three companions. Um, Kyrian bows her head, looking away as the man swaggers over to the two of you. "Ugh, I can't believe they let you in here. I guess that anybody can take the test. How
It's
long?
rude.
How long did it take you, Kyrian, to actually start casting higher level spells? Little mice who don't know what they're doing should go home and hide in their little holes. The test of sorcery is for real magic users. You'll be ripped to shreds in there."
I don't think that. I don't think she can go now. You probably shouldn't scare her.
Oh,
Don't. I don't think they'll let her out.
Look, I'm just trying to look out for her. She's not going to make it.
Well, regardless, I don't think she can just stay here forever. So,
Well, let's find out. Carrion, what do you think? Shall we ask the Red Wizards here if you can go? And Carrion's like, I don't know. And she kind of looks at you.
you're asking me? Listen, I don't know you. I just met you. But I think that if you're doing this because somebody else has expectations placed on you, then maybe you should reconsider. But if you really want to be a wizard, I think that you should go through with it. But I don't know you. You have to make that decision for yourself, and you have to think about whether or not this is your decision or your parents'. That's all I'm saying.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
This is a tough one. It's gonna be
Oh,
16. I'm guessing by that.
no,
Ooh,
3.
a 3.
Yeah.
The man laughs, and Kyrian kind of hangs her head, and he's like, I don't know you, but I wouldn't be too confident about the test if I were you. Maybe you should go talk to the Red
That's just.
Robes.
You're talking to me? Rude.
Um,
Go
uh,
sit down with your friends.
uh, yeah, you see as a couple of the Red Robe Wizards kind of step forward, sensing that there might be trouble, and Kyrian grabs your hand and pulls you into the dining room. I'm taking notes. The dining room features a blazing hearth at the center. At a center, a long table sits surrounded by several chairs. There are just enough seats for each test taker present. Supper is hot and fresh, with plenty for each mage to have their fill. While much of the large spread of food you're familiar with, there are stranger dishes entirely foreign to you. While the good meal is refreshing, drinks good. While the good meal and refreshing drinks are comforting in some ways, the tension of the air is still palatable. Um,
Um,
mm,
are there other people in here?
yeah, everybody's makes their way in here to eat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll sit down, but before I actually like eat anything, I want to like kind of make sure I want to see like I don't want to be the first one to like start eating. And I also want to see if there's any way I can just do like I don't know what kind of check if it would be like Arcana or whatever to just to make sure that it's like not gonna do anything to me.
Okay, yeah, Arcana check.
Wow, that's a nat one for an 8.
So the nat one is one of the wizards comes and leans over to you and goes, Saria, the test hasn't started yet. It's okay. And everybody around you kind of
Okay,
chuckles at you.
thank you.
But yeah, like other people are eating, and so like, are you gonna go with something familiar? So they have elfish food here that you're very familiar with. Stuff from Abyssinia in here, all the way up, and a lot of stuff that's completely unfamiliar. They have pizza.
So I
The
want
meat
to.
lovers.
I want to try to take little tiny samples of like all of the more unfamiliar things just to kind of like try um, to just kind of like see if I can just get a taste of different things just to
Okay.
kind of like, yeah,
Hey,
just be
you know what?
adventurous about it.
Take do a nature roll.
Okay.
This is just bonus. This roll is bonus.
Bonus roll. I got a 14.
14. Okay. So there are several dishes in there that you're thinking is like, okay, if we are able to rebuild the inn, I can make that. I know what's in that. And so
Hmm.
you're going to be able to greatly expand the menu offerings um at the
I'm taking mental notes of all the things I think that our customers will love.
yeah. Um Eventually, dinner comes and goes, and before long, you're escorted to your individual chamber. The guest chamber is surprisingly elegant. Pleasing herbal and citrus scents fill the room, mixed with the odor of old parchment and a hint of nutmeg. Moonlight spills through the large green stained glass window near a luxurious four-post bed, infusing the room with an ethereal glow. A small hearth stays lit with magical fire that keeps the room warm even on cold nights. And there's a clawfoot bathtub that has been drawn with steaming hot water. The simple bookshelf rests on the right gray stone wall, stuffed with books of every shape and size. Between the bookshelf and the bed sits a round obsidian study table with a single wooden chair. Dozens of names have been carved in the underside of the table. A
Hmm.
couple of them are Nalib Kortki, Gadrella of Tarsus, Corral Balderch Chulzork, and Ronald Greeley. The only other object on
I
this
would
table
like to.
is let me finish my the
Sorry.
only other object is an inert scrying orb held within a platinum base that resembles a dragon's claw. Tonight is your last before the test, and time is short. Spend it wisely. You can take a rest, copy or prepare spells, pursue other basic activities, enjoy some of the room's luxuries, or investigate intriguing items. Um, so you can do two things in this room. You can take a nap, you can do a bubble bath, you can examine the orb, you can investigate the
Mhm.
bookshelf.
If I carve my name in the bottom of the desk, does that
That's not
count
count.
as
No,
one of
no,
my
no.
two things?
That's fine.
Okay, all right. I'm doing that first. Saria was here. WUZ. Um, I would like to. What were my options? Investigate the books, investigate the orb, take a bubble bath,
Take a nap.
take it out. Um, I would like to investigate the books.
Okay. The imposing wooden bookshelf fills the entire length of the chamber on one side. An old ladder leans against the far corner, several of the lower rungs splintered from use. Motes of dust dance slightly off the shelves, glowing in the nearby firelight. Every shelf is crammed with heavy leather bound books, stacks of parchment tubes, slender journals, untitled volumes. There is, Wilkes says, a giant octagonal book as well. Uh, there's
Nice.
some titles: A History of the Second Dragon War, Rising a Sorceress Child Safely, 101 Delicious Recipe for Dwarven Guests, Drowning in the River of Time, The Unpredictable Danger of Chronomancy, and a tattered brochure titled So You Want to Be a Hero, that advertised far off academy for prosperous adventures. Um, if you want, you can look for a book about the test. You can look for forgotten spell book. You can look for something obscure.
I'm particularly interested to see if there are spell books.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Wedged beneath a thick cookbook titled "Cannibal's Guide to Health and Happiness," you find something even more expected: a ratty-covered tome with no title that nearly falls apart in your hands. Inside the front cover, a message has been scrawled in sloppy ink. Welcome to the community spell library. Us novice mages got to stick together. Take one scroll, and hide this tome somewhere those old coots would never look for it. Use it during your test. If you
Okay.
survive, be a friend and put a fresh scroll back inside for the next poor slob that comes along. Sincerely, good luck, Nalib C. And some loose spell scrolls spill over the table. Some of them quite old. And you can there's a you can get comprehend languages, dark vision, identify, knock, mirror image, protection from good and evil, ray of enfeeblement.
Look and see what I already have. I have some of those already. What does Ray of Enfeeblement do?
Oh, do you have that up?
I'm looking at it.
I do have my book. Yay. All right.
Take that one.
Ray of enfeeblement?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
All right. Um. Yeah, nice. Okay. Add that to your inventory.
Okay.
Do you want to take another?
I'm a rule follower.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
just take one.
What else would you like to do?
So I have a question. If I choose, I'm not saying I'm choosing to take a nap, but if I did, so what I'm wanting is to basically be able to recast mage armor without having to do a second spell slot. So if I like take a nap and then recast it, would that just be like a wash? Would I get my spell slot back? Is that, I guess what I'm asking is it a long rest?
You will be able to take a long rest before the spell starts. I mean, the test starts. I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Oh, don't worry about it right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Okay.
the test isn't today.
So don't be concerned with that. Okay, that being the case, I want to investigate the orb.
That's what the meme says. Ponder the orb.
Ponder the orb.
I was gonna say I think that was from a Dragonlance book, but that's actually from a Merp book. If y'all have seen that meme of the wizard pondering the orb. Anyways.
I did not.
Oh, okay. Chat, come on, help me out here. um, when you investigate the
I have a
orb,
question. Hang on about the spell scroll. No, this is. I don't want to move on yet because I'm trying to add it to my inventory and it's giving me like options. It's like you can. It's basically asking what level this spell is, and I'm
second
not
level.
second level. Okay, I don't know. All right, I have my spell scroll added
Yeah,
to my
it's
inventory.
second level.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Uh, when you investigate the orb further, when you ponder the orb further, its dim
Mm.
interior begins to glow with a pale blue light. The glass sphere rattles within its dragon claw base. Shapes begin to form within the orb, half shrouded in mist. You observe a ship sailing in the monstrous lightning storm. The vision shifts after a few moments, revealing the dark red door etched with glowing arcane runes. Then the image changes again, showing a tall, crumbling tombstone behind which stands a shadowy figure with an outstretched arm. At last, the light within the orb dims until it is merely a pale flicker. If if you want to use the orb, you can do an Arcana check. Be a
So there was a
13.
red door and a shadowy figure.
Yeah, there's several images that we'll explore if you're able to
Okay.
use it.
Yeah, I will. I'll give an Arcana check.
Okay, we need a 13.
17.
17, okay.
17.
You can
Mhm.
focus on one of the images that you saw. So you saw a vision of a ship. You saw a vision of a
Mm.
large door with arcane runes. You saw a vision of a tombstone and a shadowy figure. And that's it. Those three.
I would like to focus on the red door.
You saw a red doorway. You want to paint it black.
That is correct.
The swirling mist inside the orb dissipates, revealing a vision of one possible future. You witness yourself in the vision, standing in a narrow, bone-littered dungeon corridor. Before you is a large door made from crimson metal, etched with strange runes that fill a hallway with a cold white light. At waist height, on the door is a hand-shaped hole. You watch yourself turn from the door and pick up a skeletal hand from the ground, then stick it through the hole in the door. The hole suddenly closes around the skeletal hand, trapping it in the door. After a few seconds, the door opens inward. You don't wait to see what is on the other side, though. You immediately turn and run all the way down, all the way toward the dead end on the other side of the hall. A moment later,
So I don't go through the door?
you don't go through the door. A moment
Okay.
later, mist clouds the inside of the orb. Its light dims and then goes out entirely.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Ah, okay. So let's see. As you're pondering the orb, as you do, your private time becomes suddenly interrupted by 3 loud knocks on the chamber door. Without warning, the door flies open and 3 mages of high sorcery sweep into the room, each one wearing different color robes. Roll me history.
Indeed.
What's that?
That would be a sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe! The black-robed mage you know is Ladonna. She's the head of the Order of Black Robes. She's been long admired both in her youth and in her later life, and refused to use magic to alter her appearance or hide her age, and yet she seems to have kept a timeless beauty. She's a striking woman with iron gray hair that she wears in intricate braids. She's about 5 feet tall. She's always she's garbed in these just extravagant black robes that are inlaid with silver runes for protection, and she wears many jewels on her fingers, around her neck, and everywhere she and you can tell just by looking at them that these are just magnificent pieces. The red robe wizard limps in to the room, heavily favoring one leg. Despite that, he's well built and athletic man, nearly 6 feet tall. His brown eyes and brown hair and dark eyes. You know that this is Justarius, who has not been the leader of the Reds for very long. His left leg was crushed in his own test. A reminder to you that what happens tomorrow could be very dire for you. He's known for his wisdom in his open dealings with people, and he is highly regarded by people of all orders. The ancient man in white robes is Parsalion, the longtime leader of the tower. He's an elderly man now. His long white beard is down to his waist. His bright blue eyes. He does not leave the Tower of Wayreth anymore, and stays around exclusively, but is largely considered the greatest mage living today.
So he's Gandalf. That one's Gandalf.
He's Gandalf, yeah.
Yeah, it's Gandalf.
The white Parsalion grins. Is like, I hope you found our accommodations relaxing, encouraging, a well-deserved respite. The Ladonna grins. Is like, I hope you have not wasted what little time you might have left on mundane frivolities. Justarius says, her time is her time. How she spends it is not our concern. We are here to interview her and to craft her test. Let's waste no more time. No more of our time or her time bickering over it. He moves over between the others and speaks with his calm authority as the three mages look carefully at you. The red robe mage, Justarius, speaks again. You being here means your sponsorship to the test of high sorcery has been accepted. Before we continue with this interview, understand that we will be using sorcery to peer into your mind and ensure that you cannot lie to us. If you have protections against mind reading, now is the time to remove them. If you resist our magic, as is your right, your time here at Tower of Wayreth will be at an end. Parsalian says, simply speak the truth. Nothing. Be honest with us and yourself. It is essential that to the integrity of the test and your growth as a mage. Do you agree to these terms?
I do.
LaDonna puts her hands together and says, I'm certain you already know of the gods of magic, their realms and influence, and their corresponding moons. I would hate to overestimate you, so let us review. The white moon's name.
Oh, you're gonna make me look it up?
I sent it to you.
I know. I'm pulling up the message. I only paid attention to mine. Okay, all right. Let me pull up my messages. Okay. Ask me that question again.
The white moon. What is her name?
Solinari.
God of magic used patiently and compassionately to create a better world. Better by whose standards, one wonders? At least I do. The red one.
Lunatari.
Goddess of magic used to maintain balance, to unravel mysteries, to embrace personal freedom. And the black.
Nuatari.
God of magic used to pursue personal ambition, wealth, influence, revenge. I wonder what you would use it for. The red robe clears his throat and taps a finger against an ambulance around his neck. Parsalion purses his lips tightly but doesn't say anything. And LaDonna continues. White, red, and black. 3 gods of magic, 3 orders of high sorcery who, as much as we bicker and disagree, work together to further the advancement of magecraft. Assuming you survive your test, which seems very unlikely if I'm being honest, what order would you choose?
Rude. Lunatari.
She nods and then steps backwards. The Justarius steps forward, says, of course, you cannot simply declare which order you will join. The test itself will determine which god you are best aligned with, though your answer is certainly noted. Parsalian says, even the greatest of mages in history experience moments of imposter syndrome. If we accept them as part of who we are, fear and anxiety can be the source of strength and wisdom, an honest understanding of one's weakness and a mage's greatest strength. Justarius says, subtlety and fortitude are also great strengths that a mage possesses. But which of those 2 great strengths is your weakness? Do you lack fortitude or do you lack subtlety?
Do I lack fortitude or do I lack subtlety? I think I very clearly lack any kind of subtlety.
Parsalian said, "Strength does not only come from the gods, or even ourselves. It comes from others. No mage should isolate themselves with only their books and keep them company." And you see LaDonna kind of grin at that, knowing that Parsalian never leaves a tower. um, Parsalian says, "Imagine that you're sailing through a storm. Dark clouds smother the moonlight. The sea rages, looking to swallow you. Your mast is shattered. Who is your anchor in your storm?"
My family back home, that is what I would think about to give me strength.
Anyone in particular?
Mother.
You are a long way from Qualinost. And I know that you did not
Yes.
come here by teleportation. You were far in the north.
In fact, I think I did come here by teleportation.
I should clarify, you did not come from Qualinost by teleportation. Why have you left your home?
Certainly I did not. I have always been encouraged to go find myself and go see the world. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show and prove to my family that I could make it on my own.
And it's troubling times. If Qualinost needs you, where will you be?
Well, I'm currently traveling with a group of companions, so truly, to be honest, I don't know how I would react. I would probably be called home, but I can also imagine that I would be pulled elsewhere by my duties.
Rafe says, "I can't imagine Jen playing any character that doesn't lack subtlety."
Accurate.
LaDonna comes forth, and in just suddenly an unnaturally dark voice, and her eyes start flaring with just blackness covering over her eyes. She goes, "My turn." She begins to chant arcane words. Her song, beautiful and dreadful all at once. It seems to come from everywhere around you in a magical darkness. When the song ends abruptly, there is only silence. Then a terrifying vision assaults your mind until you feel like your skull might be split open. You see yourself standing amidst a small, silent crowd in a graveyard. All their faces are featureless, blank slates of flesh. You push toward the faceless crowd to the front of the gathering and look down at the headstone resting at the edge of a freshly dug open grave. It says Saria was here. WUZ. Suddenly you hear a familiar laugh behind you. You turn and see someone new standing in the front of a faceless crowd, grinning with crossed arms. This is somebody from your past who bullied and tormented you. And that person's voice is just like you remember. Who is it?
A ex-lover.
Okay. Name?
It's an elven name. Let me...
Chat.
Elven.
We needed some elven names.
Chat. What's the name of my ex-lover? What's like an elven variation of Wilkes? Not that Wilkes is my ex-lover.
Oh my gosh, this scene's gonna go bad.
Paul.
What the fuck,
Paul is
Wilkes?
also not my ex-lover. Paul is also not my ex-lover. I just feel like I have to make that clear to everyone in chat right now.
Elvish Presley.
Elvish Presley. Okay, my ex-lover's name is Presley.
Guys, this is super serial. Ricky Ricardo.
My ex-lover's name is Presley.
Okay. It is Presley. Presley says, "You really think you'll survive the test? You have no idea what they will do to you in there. And I'll be there too, watching from the best seat in the house. I want my laugh to be the last thing you hear when you die." Everybody starts laughing at you from the funeral, and from the surrounding woods you start to see movement, and a pack of hyenas come and start flanking you on all sides. You instinctively take a step back, almost slipping on the soft ground and falling into your own grave. In the middle of all this, you hear Ladonna say, "Fight me. Show me you have control, that you are master of your mind and not I." And you realize that you can push back the nightmare. What do you want to push back first? The hyenas, the funeral, or Presley?
The hyenas, the few. So I'm falling backwards, like into
No, no,
the
no, no. You
open
didn't fall. You
grave.
almost fell, but you didn't fall.
I almost fell.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just like still kind of like in this vision.
Right.
Okay. Um, I would like to push back against the funeral.
All right. Make an intelligence saving throw. You
Okay.
realize you realize that that this is just magic. This is an illusion, and so you are, you know how this is constructed, and you just need to convince yourself. So DC 13.
23.
You're very good at convincing. The funeral just disappears in the grave beside, and you see Presley there still laughing, and the hyena is still coming out of the forest. What's next?
Presley.
Presley, you know that there's only one way to stand up against Presley, and you gird yourself up and step forward toward him, uh, and let's make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
13.
I'm not great at charisma. Shit. A 2. Presley! My downfall.
Um, you step into his space and he does not move, and he looks at you and just continues to laugh, and the image just falls away from you, and you are alone in your room. The mages are gone, although you do hear Justarius's voice lingering behind, saying, "The test of high sorcery is a forge, and your soul is the metal its fire transforms. Push yourself. Challenge your beliefs. Face your demons head on. Prove to the gods what sort of mage you will become. But first, rest. Tomorrow night, it begins."
Before I go to bed, I'm gonna carve under the desk again, and I'm just gonna say F you, Presley. To kind of get that out of my system. And then I'll go to bed.
The night before your test passes in dreamlessly in peaceful comfort. You get the benefits of long rest. The next day, the Tower of Wayreth is quiet. The inspiring mages you met the day before are nowhere to be found, perhaps already having begun their test. As the isolated hours pass, the sun rises and falls. You take a walk around the silent towers to the areas open to you, and out the amply moonlit corridor, where the red moon. Well, that's wrong. Uh, where the red moon soars above right now, casting red light on everything below. You As you come back to the grand hall, you You peek into the grand hall where the leaders of the conclave gather. The Hall of Mages is an immense obsidian chamber with 60-foot dome ceiling. 20 chairs sit in the shadows, while one central chair gives off a cold white glow, the hall's only light source. All 21 chairs face the north wall. The longer you stare into the room, the larger the chamber grows in your eyes. You can only imagine the history of this place, spells of incredible power weaved by the world's greatest mages, and the critical decisions made here about the future of the conclave. You realize that you are now a part of history, however great, small or great your destiny proves to be. You continue on. You start climbing some of the. I'm sorry. You find a staircase, a spiraling set of black stone stairs. As you begin to climb it slowly dawns on you that you have been summoned to begin your test. The spiral staircase seems to go on forever, lit by torches on the right wall that burns with white, red, and black magical flame. At last you see the landing at the top of the stairs, beyond which stands double wooden doors with a pair of silver door knockers. On the left wall, large painted portraits hang at even intervals, portraying various past mages of high sorcery. You gonna take a look at those, or are you gonna go ahead and go?
Take a look at those.
The portraits are somewhat of a mystery. Only 12 paintings hang on the wall for no apparent rhyme or reason. You cannot know for sure if you were meant to find these specific portraits, or if the conclave changes the portraits hanging randomly, or if everything you see is just merely an illusion. The painted mages wear a balance of black, red, and white robes. They all look very different from one another, featuring numerous races. Some of the paintings reveal scowling or bored expressions. Others portray more whimsical mages, often not taking themselves seriously. You observe the final 5 paintings with keen interest. The first is a black-robed wizard with enormous, dazzling smile that wears a pointy hat and a monocle. The second portrait portrays a tall, red-robed wizard with blue skin and a very proud expression. It looks like an elf, but that seems weird. Clutching a magical amulet with long fingers. Third painting shows a shy-looking, black-robed young woman with dark hair and strange pupils, the shape of golden hourglasses. The fourth portrait is of a white-robed elven woman with ghostly white hair, determination in her eyes, and an ornate rapier hanging from a rope belt. All of them, mages from every sort of background, took their test of high sorcery and survived. But the final painting, has no frame and is entirely black. Looking at it makes your skin crawl. You feel like someone is watching you from the other side of its shadowy canvas. You want to pass it or take a look?
No, I want to take a look.
Okay. So as you start looking at this, make an Arcana check. Its DC is 19.
Ooh. And I got a 20. I got Sloppy Joe.
Nice. All right. The midnight colored ink begins to swirl on the canvas, and you hear a man's deep, quiet, articulate voice in your mind. More wood for the fire. Another sacrifice to feed the conclave's pride. You are an interesting one, though, aren't you? With a little help, I suspect that you might just make your mark in the world. No mage worth their salt is an island, after all. You can still feel invisible eyes on you, but the creeping sensation eases. The black portrait seems less ominous now than it did before. The mysterious mage continues to speak in your eye. In your eye? Boy, that'd be weird. In your mind, not answering every question or revealing his identity. Even many of the most promising mages master their early test, only to perish in the last, most vicious test. The corpses of those unlucky acolytes now lie entombed beneath this very tower. I alone can help you survive your final challenge. All that I ask, in exchange, is a small portion of your life force after you complete your test.
Pass.
How utterly disappointing that you have so little ambition or even an ounce of self preservation. So be it, more wood for the fire.
Thanks anyway, sir. And I'll just keep walking.
You reach the doors, and as you approach, they open to you. And even though you've been climbing for a long time, you step out into a forest. As you take a quick glance behind you, the tower's gone. You are alone, and your test has begun.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor again.
Do you want to take a break?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we're gonna take a break, and we
I'm
will
still
be
alive.
still alive. The test
So
hasn't
far.
even started. We will be back.
I'm still alive.
Like literally nothing could have killed you yet.
But we take our victories where we can get them, Techno.
You're walking through the forest and you're getting the kind of the clumps of footfalls on the forest floor, but they're starting to echo more as you look down. You see that you're getting onto an ancient stone road. You follow it and you find yourself in an ancient ruin. The walls are carved with images of battles long past, featuring elves and humans engaged in fierce combat against strange, shapeless monstrosities. From within the carvings come a trio of sighs, the air shimmering with light and energy that coalesces into ethereal forms of three elven ghosts. Their eyes are sightless, yet they look at you, and yet they look at you as they speak. You can't hear their words, only sighs rising from their throats, but you can read what they have to say from their lips. Please free us. Free us from perpetual suffering. Put us to rest. Let us join our siblings and parents in the beyond. Tell me if I need to repeat any of those.
No, I think I got
Okay.
it.
They gesture deeper into the
um,
ruins. In the darkness, you see three skeletons clothed in ancient battle gear, their bones in disarray. Each of their hands holds a different item. The first holds a silver goblet with droplets of rubies. The second, a sphere of cloudy quartz, and the third, a golden crown with sapphire in the shape of a shining star. But before you can move, a confident voice cuts through the echoing grave. Oh, it looks like you got here before me. And you turn around to see what appears to be another apprentice mage, hands propped on his hips as he looks at you. Well, that's fine. How about you take one of the treasures and I'll take another, and we'll call it fair. I mean, it's not like these elves need it anymore. The ghosts shrink back, almost hissing at his presence. They turn towards you and repeat their voiceless pleas. What are you going to do?
do I recognize this apprentice from dinner or anywhere whenever we were chilling the day before?
Roll insight for me.
6.
Nope.
Um, I turn around and I just tell him, I'm sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. I'm taking this test very serious. If you want to grab something, by all means, but please leave me alone.
Oh, there's no need for all of that. There's plenty for both of us.
Well, by all means, take whatever you need to take. I'm just sitting here contemplating the test. Thank you.
You're just gonna sit there?
Are you just gonna sit there?
Oh, wait.
I thought you were gonna pilfer.
He leans against the wall and just stares at you.
Uh-huh. Um, I would like to whisper to the ghosts. Um, how can I help you?
Put us to rest.
I understand that, but how?
They point to the bodies.
Okay. All right, you said one has a silver goblet with rubies, one has a gold crown with a sapphire star. What was the second item?
A sphere of cloudy quartz.
Fear of. What does that mean? Like it's an orb? What does that
Yeah,
mean?
it's an
Or it's
orb.
okay, so it's just a gin.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, if I look down and investigate the three different bodies, is there anything other than what they're holding that's like distinctive about them?
Okay. Yeah. So up close, as you walk forward, the ghosts kind of float alongside of you, and they keep pointing to the skeletons. Um, the each corpse you find is defiled and discarded by whoever struck the killing blows, leaving them to rot. Um, the other mage kind of moves forward, just hovering behind you.
I feel like you're cheating at this point. Like, I feel like you're cheating. Can you maybe like turn around while I make my decision, please, sir? Cheating.
Oh, come now.
Cheater.
Come now. We can help each other.
You don't, you're just like staring at me, though. You're not helping. So if you want to help, I'm happy to talk this out with you. But you're just staring at me and I don't trust you.
You you realize that kind of putting the bones back together um will probably do the trick. They were just you know they would have been fine, falling on the battlefield, but that they were all defiled and messed up.
Okay. Um, yeah, that's I will kind of put them back together and try to lay them in a very respectful way, and I will make sure that they each have their treasure with them. I'm not going to take it.
Okay. The the other guy, you hear his foot's kind of shuffle forward, but the ghosts line up it in between you, and he won't let him pass as you do this. Make either an investigation or a medicine check to figure out putting these things back.
It would be a 21.
21. The ghost, you hear them sigh with relief, and as they float past you, brushing your forehead with gentle fingers, and you get inspiration. All three
Hey,
ghosts close their eyes once they lie down, kind of within their corpses, and they slowly fade from the world. As you kind of stand up and brush off the grave dirt, partially the partially collapsed ceiling of the ruins break open, and a sea of icy shadow spills from the opening, enveloping you entirely. When the freezing darkness departs, you face your next test. Um, so go ahead and mark inspiration. There is one thing that I forgot to mention. You get, as part of the test, you get 5 points that you can use as this lows. These destiny points, and
Okay.
so you can use it in battle to, and you can use them after you make a roll, but you can use it in.
Can or cannot?
You can.
Okay.
You can use it to, you know, change a roll into a crit. You can use it to change a saving throw into a success.
Okay.
Or if you die, one will burn to resurrect you with 10 hit
So I
points.
can die 5 times, is what you're telling me.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And now you're sitting there going, well, Paul didn't actually make it through the test at all. He died 6
He must
times.
have died 6 times. Wow. Or he blew all his on trying to make saves. All right. So is this apprentice guy still hovering?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. Um, all right, I will move on to the next area.
Yeah, as you enter this area, what was behind you is now gone. So like you turn around and that cave is not there. And so the
Okay.
guy is also not there. You find yourself. Is that right? Um so okay, so you continue. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. You continue through this freezing darkness, and eventually the path leads you to another cave. This is a dim cave lit only by the moonlit light, barely creeping through a single crack on the roof. Surrounding you are stone statues of people, each perfectly preserved in lifelike poses. The statues' realistic features are frozen in various expressions, some looking ahead with complete confidence, while others cower and shrink away from an unseen danger. Broken parts of the statues have fallen off with time and erosion, and they are those stones are cracking on the ground. On the other side of the cave, you see a heavy wooden door, the only clear exit. You can.
Um, oh, I wanted to I wanted to just investigate the stone carvings.
Okay. Um.
Yeah,
Roll
closer.
roll investigation.
15.
15. This isn't the work of an artist. These people were real.
Oh, ew.
So you
Um,
can. You don't believe there's anything you can do for them, but if you want to, uh, you know, stealth forward, move forward boldly, sit there and wait.
um, did did I get a sense of how long they've been like that, or how
Some.
about I ask it this way? Did I get a sense that they've all been there for the same amount of time?
No.
Okay.
Some are very, very, very old. Some are newer.
Okay. All right. So I'm getting the sense that that may also be my fate if I screw this part of the test up.
See, we were
Um,
worried about staying up too late, but apparently not.
um, all right. I will cautiously continue forward through the door.
Carefully and quietly, you navigate the statues and broken stones, trying to hang out in the shadows. You keep your ears and eyes keen for any movement. Um, as you get farther in, you spot a figure with a snake tail and humanoid torso, dressing one of the statues in a cloak, chuckling to herself with amusement. as you try to pass her, you can make a stealth check, or if you want to just jump
Yes,
her, you can.
please. And yeah, I would like to make a stealth check. Yes. Um,
Um. Okay. Yeah. No, you're good.
ooh, that is an 8.
The creature spins around on her coiled tail, her forked tongue flicking out the taste in the air. Her gaze turns toward where you stand. She begins to advance on you, slithering along on the long snake's tail that emerges from her humanoid torso. Though you never quite see her gaze, you notice her head is wreathed with snakes for hair. She hisses, like, "Look at this! They brought me a new mage for my special collection." You
Yeah.
you take an unconscious step away from her, and your foot hits the edge of a nest filled with white eggs.
Um, well, how many? Is like a bunch of them?
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
bunch of
Like
them.
like
Okay.
five.
Okay. I grab one and just like hold it up like I'm gonna throw it, but I don't throw it. And I say, "Stop, let me pass," or I throw it.
Um, you lift it over your head, like and roll me intimidation.
Okay. I'm
You're
not a very intimidating figure, but
Jeff is highlighting the
that's a
message,
13.
reminding you that you have advantage. Um,
Um,
but
I rolled a 13. I will use my inspiration on that, I think. Um, not one of my destiny points. Um, I'm gonna roll it again. Oh wow. Okay. So a 13.
okay. um, 13 is good. The Medusa hisses at you,
Oh nice.
but she slowly backs away, giving you room to get to the door. Roll me. Roll me perception. What's that?
Just using the trick I was trying to use before. Jim's friend said you can try. 11.
11. Your hand. You have one hand with the egg and one hand on the door, and it's locked.
It's locked. Okay.
The Medusa says,
I'll cast knock.
"Here, I can help you."
No, no, I'm gonna ignore Medusa and I'm just gonna cast knock on the door.
Okay. Let me see where we're going next. You get through the door. Do you leave the egg behind you, by the way?
Yeah, no, I set it down. Yeah, I set it down and I don't take it with me.
Okay.
Loading. We get the what's the loading screen look like for the test of high sorcery?
Yeah. Yeah, like the landscape is rendering, so like you start seeing like parts of the trees, and then the leaves pop
Yeah.
up, and but the grass still isn't there, so it's just a grid.
Mm. So how's everyone?
Holy smokes, what's going on with my life? Oh. Yeah, I took off the channel points because there's a very real chance for death, and knowing Wilkes, he would tank her.
Dude, yeah, he would. He would.
All right, I got it now.
Wilkes says it's true.
Yeah. Um, you arrive at kind of a peaceful place here, and I don't necessarily know that you need to take a short rest. But you can if you want.
Am checking to see if I get any spell slots back on a short rest because that. Ye- I once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover up to a combined level of 2. And none of
Whoa,
them. Okay, I will take a short rest so that I can get my spell slots back.
very nice. That's a good. Is that a feat or is that a feature of wizards?
That is why do I have that? That is arcane recovery. It
Nice,
is part of my school of
nice. Yeah,
abjurement or whatever. Yeah.
not very good. All right, so uh, short rest is happening. And you continue your journey. The path is going to
Okay.
lead you. You are. It's still cold. It's still like, you see like the forest around you, and it's still dark. Like Wayreth Forest is dark, but it's chilly. But you see a light ahead of you, and you arrive at a small hut. The strong scent of herbs wafting through the air. Um, it just this like clearing just has like sunlight, like nowhere else does, but just this clearing has sunlight. And as you kind of glance inside, you see shelves and cupboards filled to the brim with jars and bottles with featuring ingredients such as basilisk blood and unicorn hair. Before you can even decide whether you're going to stay or go, an elderly woman shuffles into the room from the back, going, "Oh goodness, you're finally here." Her voice is very gentle. She's smiling from ear to ear, and she holds out her hand and says, "Come, come, come, dear. Have some nice herbal tea and some cookies. We must have had a tremendous time getting your test so far. Conclave just doesn't know how to be gentle on youngsters."
Not that young. And I sit down. And if she's offering tea and cookies, I will, of course, do my usual, like sniff them and make sure they're not poisoned or cursed. Uh,
Um, she puts a thing of freshly baked cookies and a fresh cup of peppermint tea in front of you. She wipes her hands on her apron and shuffles over to the fireplace where a black iron pot bubbles, filled with acrid smelling liquid. And she continues chatting as she is stirring the pot, going, "Really, mages are so jaded by wars and conflict they've forgotten what it's like to be new in the world. Even getting through Wayward Forest is such an ordeal these days, though thankfully you came across the fairies when you did. No, mages like you require all the help they can get." She looks back at you, her expression still kind, but her eyes knowing. "However, I should let you know that the bread you took, which I baked myself, doesn't have any effect until you're ready to pay the price. I wish things could be free, but that's just the way it is, isn't it?"
should have expected so. What's the price?
Could you come over here and help me out with this?
Sure.
Um, while she speaks, something inside you lurches and your limbs twitch. Make a wisdom saving throw. DC is 13.
What do I use these destiny points for? One of them can be advantage.
No, you'll succeed if
Oh, I'll
Roll it
succeed if I
first.
fail.
Right,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Roll it first. Wisdom save. That's a 6. I think I would like to use a destiny point
Okay.
on this one.
All right. You feel the urge to stand up and walk over to the older woman, but you manage to shake it off. She frowns, turning softly. Bitter Kid, thank you so much for the biddies. Bitter Kid will never know if you live or die.
He will never know. He has to listen to the podcast, I guess.
Right.
Mm.
Um, where was I? Really, youngsters these days. She stirs the pot a few more times, then taps the spoon dry on the side of the pot and lets it sit on the counter. If you're worried, the price for my bread is and my help is not unreasonable. I just need some assistance with my potion here. Then I can send you on your merry way with a fresh pep in your step. She turns back to you and bends down, searching through some. Turns her back to you and sits and bends down, searching through some drawers, muttering under her breath about trying to find bat fingers. So
Oh, if bats have fingers, ma'am.
you can help her with a potion. If you want to sabotage it, you can do so as well.
Um, I'll help her. I'll help her.
Okay. The older woman beams and takes your hand in her small, wizened ones. She looks at you. Her face becomes sharper, her ears pointed, her eyes milky white, and the color drains from her apron until it's just a gray robe. Soon, her transformation into a hag is complete. But even as her appearance shifts, her expression continues to be warm and polite. I hope my true appearance doesn't alarm you. You can understand why I look a little bit more helpless at first. From within the hag's wispy white hair, you see some of the fairies from Wayward Forest peek out, giggling and winking at you. Now then, dear, I don't need very much help at all. Truly, all I need is part of your flesh and blood to add to the potion. Only a little bit. A
Mhm.
finger or an eye would be
Mhm.
ideal, but I'll let you choose. The process will be quite painless, too, as a bonus. She grips your hand and remains firm, her gaze expectant.
I'm afraid you're not going to get that from me. And I will try to kind of pull away.
Now, dear, you must understand that debts of this nature are not something you can easily put off. Interest increases, and the next time you're called to pay the price, it will be much steeper than a body part of your choice. Fairies tug at the hag's hair, whispering something into her ear, and she sighs. However, if this is the path that you wish to take, then I will let the bread take full effect now rather than later.
What is the bread going to do?
Well, you'll see.
All right. Can I have my hand back?
Um, Very well. All you youngsters these days taking such risks, putting off for till tomorrow what you should have accomplished today. She presses a hand against your chest, searing you with a brand that makes your marking your debt to the Fae. You take 5 force damage. Now about the bread.
What is it like? Does it like leave a mark?
Yes,
You said?
yes,
What does it look like?
like a hand.
Nice.
Now she puts her hand. She says, "Now about the bread." She puts
Diabetes.
her hand on your face, patting her cheek. As she does, a flash of magic pours through you. You feel empowered. Gain 10 temporary hit points, and
Okay.
do you have any spent spell slots?
I don't
Okay.
know.
Um. Hope it was worth it, dear. The hag sighs, disappointed, and shakes her head. Then the hut fades away. revealing your next test of high sorcery.
Me too, lady. Me too.
The bread gives you diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
We're moving right along. Boy, this PDF does not.
Well, I'm not wearing armor. I rely on mage armor, which is just like this magical shimmery shield that's like not physical. And so yeah, you can absolutely see it on my clothes.
Well, weirdly, anime mage garb actually covers much more of you than anime armor or fantasy armor, which really
Yeah,
provides
that
almost
tracks.
no protection.
Tracks.
I should not have done that. So, like, my choice here was, and
Like me, I should not have done
no,
that.
I should not have. Gosh, you missed this page. Where? Let me see. I don't know if you can see that, but you're crying next to a window. I ran that section, but you missed it.
Mm.
But yeah, like, because we're moving through it, I'm skipping several pages, and the PDF just does not want to keep up. All right, here we go. You stand in a blood-stained arena enclosed by impossibly high stone walls. In the distance, faceless crowds roar in anticipation, their glee carried down by air that smells of iron and sweat. A pile of weapons sit at the center of the arena, ready for use. As you look around, you notice more than a dozen other test takers here, all looking as bewildered and bedraggled as you feel. You spot Kyrian across the arena from you, her pale face and her body shaking with terror.
I wave.
Oh my goodness, the whole page just reloaded. I don't know what's
Oh,
happening with Kyrian.
oh
Black
no,
Pros, hello.
Kyrian!
Well, we're gonna try to get back on this. I think it knocked me off my page. This was such a good idea, and now it's. Sorry, guys. This can be cut out of the podcast.
Oh wait, no, you're not gonna keep it.
Yeah, just silence. We Kyrian. Silence.
No.
Kyrian was so scared she reached the fourth wall to get more time. Let's try this again. Need some hold music, I know. Actually, you know what? I did bring Sirenscape up, and I probably should. Let's put some background music on. This is what I do. Like, I load up Sirenscape and then I forget it.
Just don't use it.
I asked Jeff earlier today. I was like, look, I want you to listen to Dragonlance podcast and like give me your opinion. Tell me what you think. And he goes, yeah, I beat Divinity 2 today. Like, All right, here we go.
Well, if you can't say anything nice.
Okay, so you wave to Kyrian, and all of a sudden you hear, "Welcome one and all to the trial of the Terror Wind." The crowds cheer loudly in response as the announcer pauses for the applause before they continue. This is a crowd favorite, but I'll make sure to repeat the rules for the new blood. In just a moment here, the Terror Wind was going to appear. Now all of our hopeful mages have to do is survive. The trial ends when one mage is left standing, or if someone forever renounces their magic to save the others. Either way, it's going to be fun.
Oh wow.
Middle of the arena, a breeze begins to blow, swirling lazily. Soon it picks up speed, forming a ball of twisting and writhing wind. Swords, axes, spears, and arrows and maces begin to spin in the growing, living tornado caught within the whirlwind. Let the trial begin! The announcer has barely finished his words when the terror wind flies forward, carving through one of the unsuspecting mages, leaving behind nothing but gore and scraps of cloth. The crowd
Wow.
howls with the first drawn blood, and the cheering continues as the terror wind advances its path of destruction. Many other test takers don't focus on the Terrorwind, instead, brutally turning on each other. Spells fly through the air, blades drawn against companions. As you turn, you see the Terrorwind start to spin its way toward Kyrian, who seems frozen in spot in the face of impending doom.
Hey. Well, I'm gonna go help Tyrion. I'm gonna run over.
Okay. You run as fast as you can to Kyrian, trying to outpace the Terrorwind. As you get closer, you see that Kyrian's attention is elsewhere, trying to fend off another test taker, intent on killing her. You recognize her attacker, that man from earlier who was taunting her and seemed to get annoyed at you. His name was Darian. Terrorwind quickly approaches. You could pull Kyrian to safely and let her attacker be killed, or you can tackle both of them out of the way of the Terrorwind.
You know what? Darian flippin' deserves it, but I'm going to push both of them out of the way.
Recklessly, you leap forward and tackle two of them to the ground, away from the Terrorwind's path. Whirling blades dig deep into your back as you try to protect them, dealing 11 points of slashing damage. Once the Terrorwind spins around and attacks another group, you slowly rise from the dust along with Darian and Kyrian. Kyrian staggers and falls into your arms a moment later. Darian looks at you with begrudging respect before he turns off to fight another group of mages.
Uh-huh, that's what I thought.
Um, and I, um, Kyrian is crying. I don't want to be a mage anymore if it means being okay with other people dying. I don't want to watch you die. I don't want to watch other people get. We can put a stop to the test together. If even if we give up our magic, that doesn't mean giving up on life. And maybe we could go out adventuring together and find something else we could do. Her eyes look at you, clear and pure, and you see hope on her face for the first time.
So, for clarification, I thought the rule said only one person has to give up magic for the test to end.
Yep.
Okay. So we don't both have to do it.
No, she's just asking you to come with her.
She's just asking me to come. Um, I look down and I say, don't take this the wrong way, friend. Um, I don't want to give up my magic. If you want to give up your magic, um, I'm not going to hold it against you. But also, if you want to stay here, maybe we can figure out another way to beat the test. Up to you. Up to you. But I'm not going to quit.
The hope fades from Kyrian's eyes, but the determination stays. She wipes away her tears and takes your hand in hers. I understand, but that means you better survive the test and become the greatest mage ever known. I'll be cheering for you, whatever you do, and maybe you can come find me and visit.
Does this mean you're leaving?
Um, Kyrian closes her eyes and bows her head. As she does, you see a ray of energy burst from her like a multicolored sunbeams, her magical powers draining from her and into the arena. The terror wind unravels into a gentle breeze, its weaponry clinging to the sand. You reach your hand to one of the beams and you feel like some part of Kyrian's magic flows through you. awakening your senses to the arcane. And take inspiration.
Um, See if I have something to. She's alive, right? She just can't do magic anymore.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna see if I can give her something, but I don't really have anything. um, my starting equipment came with a signet ring, so I imagine this is like like a family heirloom ring. Um, and I'll give it to her as a gift.
All right. She the arena begins to fade away, and she takes it with a smile on her face. And as you blink, it's all gone, and you're somewhere new. You're halfway through the test, by the way. You haven't died yet.
Still alive. Still, still alive. 4 destiny points left. Have inspiration. More than half of my hit points remaining. All good.
You find yourself weary from everything you faced so far. You stand beneath a gorgeous sunset sky on top of a hill, crossroads overgrown with tangled weeds and dancing blades of pale grass. 4 paths cascade down from the crossroads, 3 offering locations where you might find rest, and 1 hinting of a more perilous looking trail. The westward road leads to a small seaside village. In the midst of a celebration, its people singing lively off-key shanties from the town square. The northern road slopes to a beautiful glade surrounded by cozy trees and a sparkling pond. The eastern road curves around a rocky bend. Beyond that lies a home that looks just like the one you grew up in, with a single lantern's light shining from the window. The southern road disappears in the thick, choking fog, and you can feel in your gut that that way lies to the next challenge.
Um, I will go to the next challenge.
Oh, wow, no rest, huh?
No rest. No rest. Although those sea shanties did give me pause.
Look, if you don't go to the sea shanty, then I don't write one for the podcast. Uh,
You have one you can recycle
well,
if you really need
honestly,
it.
that's what I would do. Is just put the music in there. You fully embrace the test of high sorceries challenge by refusing your opportunity to rest, recover, and study. Instead, you follow the southern road to the choking fog. The mist smells strong of copper and salt. Gnarled tree limbs hang over the road, taking the appearance of skeletal arms beckoning you to leave the path. The way forward is rocky and uneven, but you boldly stay the course, knowing that you're growing closer to achieving your goal to become a true mage. As you go, I get to a page that doesn't exist.
Loading. We can always go back to the sea shanty.
Eventually, the path leads you underground. The mist dissipates, and you find yourself standing upon a small, soggy dock within a sea cove. At the end of the dock, a wooden slope, a wooden sloop sailing the flag of the Crimson Moon Lunatari, rocks back and forth against the choppy wave. On the side, the name, the Night Candle, has been painted in red calligraphy that glows slightly with arcane light. Outside the cove, a thunderstorm approaches, and rainwater causes the water level to climb and spill over the dock. At the back of the cover, away from the ship, you can see a subterranean tunnel lit by green phosphorus fungi. The tunnel seems to slope slightly upward, away from the rising sea. Do you want to go to the ship? Try to sail it or swim up to the subterranean tunnel.
I will go to the ship and try to sail it.
Okay. The floodwaters continue to rise in the cove as you scamper up the gangplank and pull it up onto the ship's deck. Suddenly, the captain's door flies open and a large, wild, bearded man stumbles out on the deck, wearing stained naval robes and a matching tricone hat. He waves a bottle of rum wildly around the air as he rumbles loudly towards you. Oi! This ain't your mother's storm, you slow-legged land pup. I'll take the helm, and you band the sails like your life depend on it. 'Cause mark my words, pup, it does. Sea witch be hungry tonight. The scabby old Zeboam will gobble up your bones whole if you be short-witted. We got a ways to go where ere hope to sleep beneath the red moon again. The ship captain chugs the rest of his rum and throws the empty bottle carelessly overboard. You hurry to take up the sails and follow the captain's barked orders as well as you can. Soon enough, the two of you take the night candle out into the midst of the most vicious storm you have ever witnessed. Its raft tosses the ship like a toy. The thunder roars in elemental fury. The captain roars defiantly back as he steers you toward a distant, beckoning mist of silver fog. So he's out there yelling. He's like, quit your whining! I've faced worse than this. Oh, I'm not feeling very well. And just as what it seems like your fearless captain is every bit the match for the storm, swirling funnels of water rise like columns from the churning ocean and batter your ship. One of the funnels floods the foredeck, washing the captain away from the helm and toward the frothing sea. Unmanned, the ship's helm begins to spin in wild circles, forcing your course in the wrong direction.
Well, I'm going to go grab it so that we can maybe get back on the right direction. Am I able to navigate the ship?
You want to grab the wheel?
Yeah.
Okay. You turn your back on the captain and slide across the wooden deck to try to reach the spinning helm. Hey, spineless, yellow-watered knave! You've not seen the last of lucky Captain. Ah! The captain's bellows out as in the fury of the storm as he's pulled overboard. Just before you get to the helm, a lightning bolt splits the sky wide open, and another giant wave comes crashing directly towards you. Give me a dex saving throw as the water comes on at you. Your goal is 13.
That was a 3. That was a 3. Yep.
Okay, you want to take it?
And
you want to take it?
So instead of using a destiny point to automatically succeed, I will use my inspiration to re-roll it and try my luck that way.
All right.
And I got an 8. So
the waves crash down on you and take 5 bludgeoning damage. After pulling yourself up, you finally reach the helm and steady the night candle's course, directing the vessel toward the wall of dark silvery fog. All right, and suddenly a long tongue covered in acidic works. A long tongue comes out of the water. Is that right? Yeah.
Am I back on the ship, or am I
You're
in
still
the
on
water?
the ship.
Okay.
A long tongue comes out of the water, covered in acidic works, and hits you, dealing you 3 acid damage and sticking like glue to your body. The tongue quickly retracts, dragging you across the ship's deck toward the sea. Give me a strength saving throw. It is a DC 16.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Holy shit! I got a 16. Does that mean does that mean
You got it. Yeah,
is that a save?
that is a
Yay!
save.
Woo!
You tear yourself free from the tongue, causing several warts to explode with sizzling yellow acid. For a few moments over the ship's deck, you see the vast maw of a massive sea monster resembling a cross between a giant frog and a dragon with small wings. The dragon croaks its annoyance, swallows storm water, and slowly sinks beneath the frothing wave. Several minutes later, the night candle leaves behind the screaming storm and sails into thick silvery fog beyond.
Well, that was fun. I'm gonna cast False Life.
Okay.
Um, that's hold on. I rolled an 11. Let me just make sure what I'm doing with this. um, that's temporary hit points.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
there we go. And then I have this ability, this arcane ward. When I cast an abjuration spell, I also create a magical ward that lasts until I finish a long rest.
Okay.
The ward has 13 max HP, and so it works as additional temporary hit points.
Nice.
And I get to use that once per long rest, so that plus arcane recovery, so I've used both of those now.
Excellent. Okay.
All right.
Loading. It's the loading screen.
Loading.
Dragonlance loading screen. The storm quells as you go into the fog, and you know you're moving forward by just the lapping of water on the sides of the ship. And soon, before you see anything, because the fog is everywhere, you crunch onto land. You get down onto a beach. Oh, go ahead. If you don't want to get down, if you want
I was just gonna say I'm gonna crawl off the boat and look around,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
On the beach, you stand before tall, broad double doors crafted from crimson metal. Strange runes carved along its outside filled the area with cold, white light similar to the light that you saw in the Hall of Mages. When you turn around, you're no longer on the beach at all. You find yourself at one end of a narrow, bone-littered dungeon corridor. On the other end of the hallway is a dead end. You turn back to the arcane door again. As they often do, the only way out is through. As they often say, the only way out is through. The door features no handle. However, at waist height, you spot a hand-shaped hole through the door. You see only magical darkness through the hole into the next room.
Well, I will look around on the ground. I'm going to investigate the whole corridor, but from the vision I had before, I also imagine what I'm looking for is a skeletal hand that fits the hole.
Absolutely. And so, roll either investigation or perception, and roll with advantage.
Okay. So that's a 26
Yeah.
or a net one. So
No, we're gonna go with the nat one.
we'll go with the 26.
Yeah, no, magical darkness looks different from regular darkness, and that's more sparkly. Absolutely.
Obviously.
You look around and like okay, I've seen this before, and you grab the arm of a skeleton, and like you put your heel on the shoulder, and crack it up.
Yeah.
And then
no respect for the dead at all.
no, you You stick the hand in, and as soon as you do, these hidden needles snap into place, uh, shattering the bone. With when the needles withdraw, the skeletal hand falls into splintered pieces, and the double door's cold white light turns purple. Both sides of the double door slide into the wall, revealing what waits in the darkness. You remember what you saw.
What did I see?
Do you remember what you saw?
Do I?
Yes. When the doors open?
Um, well, I thought you didn't tell me. I thought it
No,
like
no,
I
you
like
you
turned
didn't see.
away in the vision.
Yeah, I was asking what did you do in the vision? Do you remember?
Oh, didn't I like turn around and run away?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you gonna do the same thing?
No.
Okay. You're not gonna run away?
Oh, no, I'm not gonna run away.
Okay. Through the open door, dim light reveals a corridor beyond. Something from the other side uh, slimes through the doorway an inch from touching you. The creature looks like a nearly transparent cube made of acidic ooze. Several jiggling skeletons and the shoddy remains of a spellbook's cover float trapped within the creature's gelatinous form. Make a dex saving throw. You definitely should have run away.
Probably. Yeah. 18.
18. Okay. Um, as the thing engulfs you, you're able to kind of push off, and you sail through through the ooze and out through the other side, scrambling to your feet as you stumble down the other side of the hallway. Um, Eventually, you come to a set of scorched stairs. By the way, this is I'll tell you, this is where I died because I
Oh
forgot
no.
that the points would give you an auto success on saving throws. And so I still
Mm.
had some,
Hmm.
and that's what I think I told you is like I would have made it to the final battle if I had remembered that, but I
Ah.
died right there.
Okay. 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 I made it past where you died, so that's encouraging.
Um, okay. Let's see. What did we pick? Oh, there it is. So now finally we're back on the path where I was on, which is interesting because now I know what's coming up. You haven't been on my path forever. Like this is all new to me. This is great.
Later, I really want to read all the paths.
This book is good. Like it really is. Like I mean, I could you could play it several times and you wouldn't get the
I
same path.
bet. Yeah.
You get to the top of the stairway and you open the door and all of a sudden you're in this breathtaking clearing amidst an idyllic forest on the edge of a misty lake. There's this is not like Wayreth at all. Like this is green and lush and warm and it's um, nice. On the bank there's an old gold dragon resting its gargantuan head upon a mountainous pillow that looks fashioned for a giant. By the way, we're off the path already that I was on. All around the dragon lies its great treasure hoard, sparkling collection of gold, pearls, and unusual items. A bearded, drooping whiskers frames the gold dragon's reptilian face. His eyes are open, glinting with golden light as they carelessly watch you. There's unmistakable keen cunning in the dragon's otherworldly gaze. When the magnificent creature shifts upon its horde, its body, uh, its body unravels with serpentine grace, causing bright moonlight to reflect off its scales and dance in the night sky. Do not even think about stealing from my horde, small one. I may be very old, that I have forgotten my name, but be sure that I enchant every gift I receive. Their ward's magic is far more powerful than you are ready to contend with. So, let me have a look at you. Send me another would-be mage, What sort of mage will you be, I wonder? Let's find out. I will offer you the choice of 3 treasures. But know this, these treasures are not gifts. And so they each come with a price that I will not share with you until you choose.
Everybody and their prices.
Oh, you will find that is the way with magic. But you should already know that, I would hope. 3 small vials float out from the horde and hover before you. The dragon bellows again, small burst of fire flaring in from its nostrils. 1 potion that allows your spells to heal others. Another that causes your spells to whack foes with terrible pain. And a 3rd to let you see the flaws in any foe, no matter how great. One of these is yours to take.
See the flaws in any what?
Any foe, no matter how great.
Oh, any foe. I will take the 3rd one.
To see the flaws.
Seeing flaws.
All right, put a
That's the one I will
potion
take.
of insightful instinct.
Ooh.
You reach out and take the round red vial. The gold dragon tilts its reptilian head from one side and considers you for a long time. Finally, he breaks the silence with a booming laugh that shakes the earth. A true mage you are, then, always seeking knowledge above power. I can respect that. A word of wisdom. Do not be too stingy with that treasure. You may need it soon enough. Now for the price. Your cost is this. May you always share the secrets you unearth with others who deserve to know the truth. As the dragon rumbles, you realize they're casting a spell on you. You can make a saving throw, a wisdom saving throw. It's going to be a big one. It is a DC 22.
Okay.
Magical darkness is glossy, but regular darkness is bad.
I saw that earlier. Yeah.
A little behind on chat, but that was a good one.
Yeah. All right. What's the wisdom save? I don't think I made it.
22?
A 16.
No. Do you want to take?
I will burn a destiny point. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. He laughs at the resisting, and it's like very well. Farewell, young one. It's time for me to rest. You will need your rest for what is to come too, but not here. You will find no reprieve in a dragon's horde. He smiles at you and nods, and then lays back down on his gold.
I appreciate it. Can I name you since you don't remember your name?
What would you name me then?
Can I name you Sparky?
With that, he blows a little fire out of his nostrils. It says, "For you, small one, you may call me Sparky anytime you wish."
Thank you, Sparky. All right, what is this potion that I took?
It will reveal. All right, so clear liquid. Uh, when you drink this potion, you gain insight of the true nature of creatures you can see. You instinctively know their creature type, any weakness they have, and damage, vulnerabilities, resistances, and immunities. The potion's effect will last 1 hour.
Okay. For some reason, I was having a hard time getting it added to my inventory, so I just wrote it down. Okay.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Well,
Let's.
I will say goodbye to Sparky.
You you find yourself as you go forward atop the same wild hillside that you did earlier. You know that it wasn't that long ago that you were here, but that you looked down each of the 4 roads and made a choice. But now, under the light of Solinari and Lunatari, there's no similar choice offered to you. All roads twist and rejoin, leading to the same path. Weary from your gauntlet of sorcerer's tests, you travel onward, hoping to find some reprieve before you face the final test. Whether your previous decision not to stop and rest when you had an opportunity to prove brave or foolish, the road onward leads you somewhere else entirely this time. It climbs higher and higher to a picturesque peak on an adjacent hill that surveys the land below it. You observe only ruin below, as far as the eye can see. The seaside village is a scorched ruin. The nearby forest turned to a plain of ashes. And where your childhood home once stood only remains a blackened husk of a building. Here at last you find a sturdy rock wall to shield you from the elements and an old stone fire pit that likely hasn't been used for ages. You make do, studying and preparing for the trial to come, high above the ruins of the world below. Despite the harshness of the stone, when you finally rest, it is perhaps the most comfortable night that you can remember in quite some time. Go ahead and take a long rest. Regain 1 spent destiny point.
Oh, nice.
And as you finish your meditation, a silvery mist begins to rise from the ground. It envelops you completely. Feeling both cold and hot against your skin, you realize that it is time. You've heard the stories. You can't hear it, but there was a howl right then. It's like it was time. Woo! That was awesome.
Way to go,
Yeah.
Sirenscape.
Sirenscape's on point. Thank you, Sirenscape, for letting us use this. We, you know what the final test is. It is a duel. And it is time for yours. The fog wraps around you like a silvery blanket. The rest of the world fades away. Through that fog, a man appears, wearing robes as black as midnight, his eyes hidden beneath a deep hood. He is tall and slender, with long, iron gray, pointed beard. Despite his apparent age, his shoulders are broad, and he looks fit and athletic. He floats to you, his feet never moving. Deep cold radiates from his body. The mysterious mage speaks with quiet, articulate bass. It would be petty for me to stand in your way of pursuing the folly of joining the Conclave's cult of sycophants. And yet, you have simultaneously stoked my ire and piqued my interest. You recognize this mage's voice. It was the one that spoke to you from the black portrait before you began your test. When he draws back his hood, you find yourself paralyzed, lost in inky blackness of his eyes. I, Fistandantalus, have sailed the river of time and explored its bountiful tributaries. I know what was, what is, and what is not yet. And still I know nothing of you. Not a glimpse of your future, not a gleam of your genesis. Why is it that you are hidden from me? As he speaks, his steady voice wavering through the suppressed anger, Dantalus draws a gemstone amulet set in silver from beneath his robe and holds it in one hand. The gem is oval, green in color, with flecks of crimson swirling from within. He holds the gemstone close to your chest, trying hard to press it to you. When he cannot, he hisses in frustration, withdraws the amulet, and turns back into his robe. A ripple in the river, that is all you are. An impertinent mirage without substance and meaning, an anomaly. Soon you will be another sacrifice to feed the Conclave's pride. You are merely more wood for the fire. He's gone. And after a minute, you're able to use your limbs again. The mist begins to dissipate. You steel yourself for the final test, a duel against a foe more powerful than you are. You have enough time to make any last-minute preparations before departing the fog to reveal the final ordeal.
For the third time, I will cast Mage Armor.
Okay. Loading screen.
But
It's
that,
the loading screen.
yeah, it's the loading screen.
The moon. The moon of Lunatari's gleaming light shines upon an endless labyrinth of high, smooth marble walls. You find yourself at the center of that labyrinth, in a crumbling marble chamber which exits leading into 3 different directions. From there, paths twist infinitely outward. Behind you, you hear the cruel, familiar laughter. When you turn around, you see Presley.
What are you doing here, Presley?
He drags behind him a massive axe which scrapes against the marble ground. He laughs like, "So you want to be a mage? Poor scrawny little sop. Came all this way just to embarrass yourself. I told you that my laugh would be the last thing that you hear before you die." He does begin to laugh as you watch as his body begins to contort wildly. His muscles bulge. His height stretches upward. The dark brown fur grows from his pores. His nose flattens and the nostrils flare. 2 twisting horns crack through his skull, rise above his head. The Minotaur grins, his square teeth glinting in the moonlight. It lifts his giant axe from the ground with ease, and it raises the other hand towards you, lightning dancing between his furry fingers. Let's roll initiative. Ba, 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 ba.
All right, I rolled a 20.
Where's my D20? That's really bad. That seems right. All right. Hold on. Let me... I'll bring it up in D&D Beyond. All right. Okay, what'd you roll?
20.
Okay. it is your go. You are up first.
Okay, well, in that case, I will start with Magic Missile.
All right, excellent.
I have to roll it multiple times.
Yeah, cast it first level or second.
I am casting it at first level to start. So the first roll was a 5. Um, and I'll just roll it 2 more times. That's a 2. And for the third roll, that is a 3.
Okay, so 10 total.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Um, as uh, as the magic missiles hit him, he he laughs and then turns invisible, and
Mm.
you can hear him. I pulled up the wrong character sheet. You can hear him uh, hurrying down the corridor, but in what direction you're not real sure.
Okay. So there's 3 openings, you said? 3 directions?
Yeah. So, and we're not gonna keep track of the map of the maze here. Um,
Hmm.
if you do a wisdom check, then you'll there's a good chance you can follow.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'll do that. Uh, just straight wisdom.
A survival. Sorry, that might be straight wisdom for you. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, 18.
18. Okay, yeah. Like there's a crunching of boot on stone in one direction, and you hurry that way. Um, since he realizes he that you found him, he turns around, uh, suddenly becoming visible, and swings with his axe. Okay. I'm guessing a 21 is going to hit you.
Yes.
Okay. The axe just cuts into you, um, as you take 10 slashing damage, and it is your turn.
I'm gonna cast Blade Ward. So until actually that only lasts 1 turn. Ugh. I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. What I'm gonna do instead is to cast Ice Knife. And that is a 24 to hit.
24 will definitely hit.
Okay, and he will take 9 piercing damage.
Okay. Um, you see his fingertips crackle with lightning as he pushes his hand forward, and a a bolt of lightning shoots forward at you. Give me a dex save. DC is 14.
21.
21. You sidestep it, and the lightning bolt just passes harmlessly away. But as you turn back, he goes invisible again. Let's do a wisdom check to see if you can follow him.
Yeah. Ah, that was a 2. So
Okay.
we've lost him.
All right. You stumble down one of the paths, and you hear a chick as you're going, and you look down and you realize that you have stepped onto an immobilizing rune. Um, DC 13 charisma saving throw.
Charisma save. Damn. That I rolled a 12. I'm gonna use one of my destiny points because
Okay.
that's frustrating.
All right, you as the spell tries to take hold, you're able to just with force of will push it down, um, and you you look up and the Minotaur is in front of you. It's going to do a charge. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. All right, 16 to hit.
Yes, but I'm gonna cast shield, which will give me an +5 bonus to my AC, so that will force that to miss.
Okay, just as he's just coming at you, horns, your head down, horns forward. You just barely have time to throw your hand forward, and the horns clatter against this magical shield with such a force that you even have to take a step back just to keep him there. But you are able to hold him back. What are you doing?
I am casting mirror image. So 3 illusory duplicates of myself appear. The spell lasts for 1 minute, and until the spell ends, these duplicates will mimic my actions and shift position so that it is impossible to track which of me is real. Each time a creature targets me with an attack, they must roll a d20 to determine whether or not the attack hits one of the duplicates. Um, they must roll a, let's see, if you have 3 duplicates, you must roll a 6 or higher to change the attacks. Oh, I guess I roll a d20. If there's 3 left, then I have to get a 6 or higher. If there's 2 left, I have to roll an 8 or higher. And with 1 left, I have to roll an 11 or higher. So basically, I roll a d20 when an attack hits to determine whether or not it actually hits and destroys one of my duplicates. A duplicate's AC equals 10 plus my dexterity modifier, which is 2. So my duplicate's AC is going to be 12.
Okay.
If an attack hits the duplicate, it's immediately destroyed. It ignores all other effects, and the spell ends if all 3 duplicates are destroyed.
Okay. All right.
So,
Oh, the Minotaur will swing wildly with his great axe, and so 19. You want to roll to see which I'm hitting?
yeah. Yes. So let me roll that d20. And I rolled a 6. So
Okay.
I think that's what I have to roll. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
double
is.
check.
Yeah. 6 or above
Okay,
for
so
all three.
you destroy one of my duplicates. I
Okay.
have 2 left.
Yeah, the magic just poofs out as his axe goes through. It is your turn.
All right. I am going to cast Magic Missile at 2nd level.
Okay.
So that's 4.
4 missiles.
5, yeah, 5 and 2. So that's 16.
Very nice. All right. Again, the Minotaur raises the hand and fires um, uh, uh, fires hurl lightning, but this time he's targeting all three of you. And so I guess you can roll a dex save for each one. And
Okay.
then any of that fail, we'll figure out if it was you or somebody else.
Okay. All right. So the first roll, I got a 14, and a 12,
And it is 14.
and an
Okay.
8.
Okay, so two failed. So do you want to roll d20 for those two to see if it hit you or?
Yeah. Okay, I rolled a 14. I don't remember what the thresholds are. Let me look. I have to roll at least a. With
Was
2
it
or more, I have to
8?
roll an 8.
8 or better.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so just
Yeah.
roll it twice and we'll. Well, I mean, if the first one hits you, then obviously the second one won't. You seem
8 and a
confused.
9. So I had to roll an 8 the first time, and
Right.
I did. I rolled a 14 or something. And so then I rolled for the second one, and the
Well,
second one hit me
no,
because I
no.
rolled less than 11.
Well, no, because they're targeting all of you at the same time, and so it'd be the same roll. So it knocked out the other two.
Oh. Oh, okay. So, all right. Okay. So I didn't get hit. My
Right,
duplicates are
but your
gone.
duplicates are gone. Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and so it turns invisible again. So let's roll
Okay.
wisdom.
I will make my. Yeah.
What was that? That was 16.
I rolled a 7.
7. Okay. You're coming around a corner and you feel it scrape you, and you realize, oh, that was a needle and that was probably poison as you're
Oh,
going.
no.
Con save 13.
Con save. That's a 22.
Okay, yeah, it just like you're able to just blow through that easily. Um, the as you're looking at that, it steps from around the corner and swings at you with an 8 is going to, I'm assuming, is going to miss. So it is your turn.
That is going to miss. And I'm going to cast Mirror Image one more time.
Okay.
So I have 3 duplicates again.
All right. It liked the lightning thing last time. It realized that it can get several of them at once, and so he can target 3 creatures with the hurl lightning. And so
Okay.
let's roll dex saves for 3. The DC is 14 for dex.
Okay. All right. So that first one is a 19.
All right.
The second one is a 7, but can I use a destiny point to autosave
Wow.
in battle?
I mean,
Can I do that?
sure. Yeah, you're gonna auto save for an illusion. That's
Yeah, I am.
So
I am.
that's a bold
Because
move,
it's only the
Cotton.
second roll.
Let's
I don't want to lose 2 illusions in one hit again.
bold move,
So,
Cotton. We'll see if it works out for you.
And then that second roll is also a 19.
Okay, so
So
like
that's 3 successes.
all four of you like dodge like as they're going by and manage to simultaneously dodge all of them. It is your turn.
All right, I am going to cast Firebolt. Does a 12 hit him?
No.
Okay.
You can use one of those to auto crit.
Oh.
If you can,
Um,
Jim's friend said,
yeah, I
if you
might
can
as
dodge
well.
three
Might as
simultaneous
well.
lightning bolts, you can dodge a ball.
You can dodge a ball. Yes. You know what? I think I will blow one to auto crit. That leaves me with one destiny point left.
Whew. All right.
Um, I will do that. So it's just a 1d10, but I guess since I crit, it's just a second d10.
Yeah.
So total is 16.
Very nice. Okay. Um, the Minotaur.
I already used my inspiration, Jem's friend, but good looking out.
Uh, the the Minotaur swings his axe in frustration and misses with a nat one, but then disappears. Go ahead and roll that wisdom.
14?
Okay. The DC was 16. You turn into this corridor, and there's several statues along the side of minotaurs. And as you're scurrying forward, one of them opens its mouth and just billows out flame. Give me a DC 13 Dex save.
Ouch, that's a 7.
Okay. You take 7 fire damage.
Okay.
And give me Dex saves for
Or
all
do
of them.
I
Actually,
all of them? Oh, everybody.
yeah. Don't take the damage yet. We'll figure out who it hits. That's a good point. We'll but yeah, do Dex saves on everybody.
Okay. The second roll is an 11. Wow, dang. The third roll is a 10. The fire is really what's gonna get me here. That's 4 fails.
4 fails.
That's
Okay.
4 fails.
All of your illusions
Mm-hmm.
just out, and you get hit by the 7 fire damage. As
All
you're
right.
as you're as you're smarting from that, um, it's coming back and charges down the hallway with an attempt to stab you with his horny horns, and does a 19 hit.
Yeah. 19 hits.
Okay, it pushes you into the wall, and you take 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
It you as he's pushing you, do a strength save to see if you can get out of it.
Okay. 13?
A 13 is not gonna make it, and it just pushes you into the back wall, and as it pushes you, take an additional 9 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, and that's gonna kill me.
Okay, burn a point, and you have 10 hit points.
Okay, and that is my last destiny point, so
Yep, it is your turn.
Mhm.
If it helps, he's looking bad.
That does help. Thank you. Um,
Things are not going well. Jim's friend gives you the clobber chocobo emote.
Hey, I'm not down yet. All right, well, we are going to cast Firebolt. Does a 22 hit him
A 22 hits him.
for 8?
He had 1 hit point left. How does he die?
Yes.
So what does he look like?
Um, he turns back into Presley as he dies, and I walk over to him and I just like blow a raspberry at him as I like watch him fade away.
The whole scene. The whole scene dissolves away. And you are at the top of the spiraling staircase. The black stone staircase. The door to the testing grounds shut behind you. Slowly you descend the stairs. On your right, large painted portraits hang at even intervals, portraying past mages of high sorcery. Some expressions are haunted, while others beam with pride or curl, a smile suggesting a secret only they know. The last painting depicts you as you look now. What is the expression you have?
I have a great big smile on my face because I absolutely thought I was going to die for not the first time in my life. And I made it.
As you enter the Hall of Mages, Ladonna, Justarius, and Parsalion stand. Ladonna smirks, says, I suppose that congratulations are in order. It seems that just maybe I underestimated you. I never make that mistake twice. The
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Parsalion says, I'm sorry, Justarius says, I, I watched your path with great interest. I'm quite surprised that you knew to use the skeleton hand, and yet didn't know to turn away from that door.
I will confess something to you. I knew and chose not to.
Well, second guessing the vision, that's bold, but it worked out for you. Uh, Parsalian says, all right, enough of this talk and work and test. The newest mage of high sorcery has earned themselves a well-deserved sleep in a real bed. I suppose that you know the way.
I think I can figure it out. I get lost really easily, as if you were watching there in the maze. But I think I can figure it out.
Um, Justarius says, you might be wondering what you do now. Parsalian says, the answer to that is anything you want. And Ladonna says, everything you want. Before you go, and they toss you a robe. And we, as in the stream, will find out your color next time. I'll tell you, though, after stream. Congratulations, you made it to the end.
I would like to point out I used all of my spell slots, all of my destiny points, and had only my 10 recovery points left. One big hit, and I would have been dead. Like one real good hit, because I know he hits really hard.
Yeah, he does.
I would have been gone. I would have been gone.
That fight, like, I went ahead and finished playing for myself. Um, just to finish things out, even though I had accidentally died earlier. And even though I would have made it to that fight, I would have made it with far too few destiny points to finish it. He would have killed me for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a tough fight.
I, it is tough. And man, and I'm still like at a point where you just don't have a ton of spell slots.
You had a scroll that you forgot about.
I did forget about that damn scroll, didn't
You
I?
also forgot about the potion that would have led to, figuring out his weaknesses.
Oh yeah. See this all these advantages I got and I forgot to take advantage of them.
But those
But do I get
but
to keep the scroll and the potion so that I have it
yes,
with me?
yes, unless you want to
Okay.
put it back in the book.
You know what? I want to hide. Can I hide the potion instead?
Sure.
Or do I want to hide the potion instead for somebody to find, but I want to keep the scroll.
Okay. Interesting. All right. You putting a little note on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put like a little like yeah, a little I'll write some kind of cutesy little like clue on it and I'll hide it somewhere.
Okay. Well, very good. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and this was fun. I'll go ahead and stop the recording so that can
Saria
upload.
was here. That's right.
Sorry, it was here. Very well done. We had a plan that you came up with if you did die
Yeah.
on what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you after we shut down what was going to happen. Because I had so many cool ideas. We can find the podcast anywhere. Thanks for asking. But I'm kind of sad that you survived.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But
Wow.
we'll deal with it. Dragonlance,
Oh,
the
okay.
Thorns of War is out and ready to go. And we have like 6 episodes already edited in the can, and they sound great. I'm adding Blue Velvet is playing one of the characters in the podcast version, and so I keep sending her lines to read. I'm hiring someone on Fiverr to play Takesis whenever she gets voiced.
Nice.
And so there's going to be a lot going on in the podcast, and that is a lot of fun.
Oh.
And it sounds really good. I'm really proud of it. So yeah, well, I don't know exactly, like we need to get together to figure out our new normal day. But we'll keep y'all informed. Is she officially a character? Yeah, and in fact, she her character does appear later, and when we get to that point, I'm going to ask her if she can join on stream. But after the latest lines I sent her, she's going to disappear for a while. But so yeah, we'll shut it down there. I appreciate everybody hanging out, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Good night.